So, I'm having all of these thoughts, and I'm going to do my best to articulate them because right now they're just flashing through my brain like things do when I just kind of land on something and I can't let go of it. So, I was listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast earlier today. I don't even know who he was interviewing. It's probably terrible that I don't know, but she is a woman with a radio show and she's interviewed a ton of people. Anyway, a lot of stuff they're talking about on their podcast. Ended up just sitting down and reading a book a little bit later and eating some chips because I've already worked out today. And as I'm reading, I read about this guy, Chris Sacca, and he's an investor. I guess he does stuff on Shark Tank. Look, I don't know who a lot of people are. I just kind of learn as I learn about them. Some of you are probably like, oh yeah, Chris Sacca, he's blah blah blah, super important guy. Anyway, so in the book, Chris Sacca is just mentioning that something that he did when he worked for Google was sit in the middle of a meeting, like an executive meeting, uninvited, and people would ask him what he was doing there, and he would just say he was there to take notes. And that was a strategy of his to learn from people who were higher up than him. It basically just surround himself from them and then learn from them. And then I started thinking about, I've had a lot of internal dialogue, but also some external dialogue, which is always healthy with real life people. Dialogue around being curious and asking questions. And I have really been getting into some Tim Ferriss stuff lately, and I'm so fascinated by him because he's just a guy who has asked a bunch of people who are really great, it's different things, right? And asked them what they did and learned about it. And so I'm kind of on this Tim Ferriss kick because of that, right? He is successful because he has just asked people a bunch of questions, learning from the best. He's just taken on this posture of learning. And then I thought of this quote that my friend Drew likes to share that he heard. I don't know, I think it was from a pastor at some point, but it was basically like, the only thing that changes you in life are the people you meet and the books that you read. And, I remember hearing that for the first time and I was like, I don't get it, but I've actually thought about it a lot and it's so true, right? We learn from the people that we meet. There are so many people that I have had, a moment here or there that has impacted my life, right? And I'm more apt to listen and learn from somebody that I know, love, respect, care for, whatever. So that quote came to me, and then I started thinking about really influential people and the people that they've met, right? And they're generally people who have also taken on this posture of learning. I'm a woman, and so, I like Oprah Winfrey. What woman doesn't like Oprah? If you don't, we need to talk later. So Oprah was somebody who came to mind. Tim Ferriss was another great example of this, but Oprah she spent her life interviewing people, just asking questions, right? And over time, she became this icon of courage and wisdom, right? And success, right? She's so successful and she's so wealthy. But she's met and talked to so many people, right? And it's not just talking. And this is another thing that just hit me. It is listening, right? Because at the end of the day, I can sit here and have a conversation with whoever. But if I am just trying to get my words and my pea brain thoughts out into the universe because I think people should know what Dominique has to say, I'm gonna miss out on these like golden nuggets from these really, really successful people who have a tremendous amount of perspective that they've gained throughout their entire lives from meeting so many incredible or not so incredible people. And that's, I don't know, that's mostly it. I'm kind of overwhelmed with this thought right now. Hi, Kat. She doesn't like that I'm yelling. I'm getting so excited I'm yelling. But that's it. A posture of learning, right? Of truly listening, being intentional about listening and walking away with something tangible for your life. And that's what hit me as I was laying on my couch eating chips with dip and reading. So, yeah, let's take on a posture of learning. If you want to be successful, I think that's it. Learn, ask, listen. Be willing to listen, right? I can't get this out of my head, this whole perspective thing. This thing of perspective, and right now it just feels so timely in the season that we're in our country. We're so polarized as a nation, and it's unnecessary if we would just listen to each other and be willing to see perspective. And I know people give me or other people shit for wanting to find common ground, but stop being so ignorant. Yes, it is about common ground. You know why? Because it's not about just me. It's not about just you. It's about all of us living together and figuring this thing out. And we are not going to do it if we refuse to listen to each other. So hell yes, common ground, listen to each other, conversation, see other people's perspectives. That's it. That's all I got.